what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a god tier intelligence build that's not only going to make your playthrough very easy but also extremely fun. Quick shout out to our sponsor AOE.com. If you don't want to grind for items or runes and you want items real quick, use my code COLD for 3% off. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for all the support on my Elden Ring videos. Almost 1 million views this month. If by chance you missed my last video, I went over one of the best strength and faith builds to use in Elden Ring. I'm going to put a link at the top of the screen right now if you want to check it out. The best thing about intelligence builds is that they will always be viable, whether you're just starting the game or end game like me, where you'll feel extremely overpowered. You will be able to do lots of damage with your spells, but that's not it. We also have the MOONVEIL katana that absolutely destroys everything that it touches. The MOONVEIL and the Dark Moon greatsword, especially after the patch, are going to be an amazing option for this setup. What makes this intelligence build so good is the combat capabilities. You are going to be extremely effective from range. You will be able to destroy almost everything with the MOONVEIL katana transient moonlight skill. If played correctly, nothing will be able to touch you, making this one of the best intelligence builds in Elden Ring. If you are somewhere in the level 50 range in Elden Ring and want to work your way towards a build like mine, well, this is what your attributes would look like, something similar to this. For vigor, we would have 20, mind 20, health and mind are going to be extremely important because obviously we want good survivability, but we also want to make sure we have enough focus points to cast our spells and use our weapon skills. Endurance 13, strength 15, just enough so we can use the MOONVEIL katana at least. Dexterity 20, intelligence 30. So our highest attribute is going to be intelligence at 30. We have faith at 8 and arcane at 9. Now, if you are somewhere in the level 100 range, then your attributes could possibly look something like this. For vigor, we have 30, mind 25. Again, same principles apply. We want to focus on health, mind, and intelligence primarily, but dexterity is also very important. Endurance 20, strength 15, dexterity 30. A lot of people don't realize that as you increase your dexterity, your cast speed for your spells will increase as well. Intelligence 45, faith 8, and arcane 9. Around level 150, your attributes would look something like this. We have vigor at 45, mind 35, endurance 20, strength 15, dexterity, again, another one of our higher attributes at 40. Intelligence will always be our highest attribute on the build at 60 with faith 8 and arcane 9. Now, I am currently a pretty high level, but I feel like I'm under leveled for where I'm at in the game. This is actually my 5th playthrough, so it's getting a little tough, but I want you guys to know that this build is extremely viable at every single level bracket. I'm currently level 235. For my attributes, I have 60 vigor, mind 45, endurance 34, strength at 18. We have dexterity at 60, intelligence at 80. Faith and arcane were left untouched, with faith at 8 and arcane at 9. Now, for our primary weapon on this build, I mean, nothing compares to the MOONVEIL katana, one of the best weapons in the game, easily top 3, on par with the blasphemous blade and the Rivers of Blood katana. I want to make sure you guys are fully equipped with the best in slot items. Another great option to use is the Dark Moon greatsword, which actually just received a buff in patch 1.04. With the release of 1.04, Ranni's Dark Moon greatsword has an increased cast speed and a decreased recovery time, which is nice. If you enjoyed using this weapon before, you are going to like it even more now, and honestly, I can say personally, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really good for range, frost buildup, does lots and lots of magic damage. As we can see here, our Dark Moon greatsword is plus 10, physical attack power 200 plus 90, magic damage 240 plus 352. Attribute scaling heavily favors intelligence, making this a great weapon for any intelligence build. Keep in mind, doesn't matter if you go with strength or dexterity, both scale evenly. And also remember that in order to use this weapon, you do need at least 16 strength, 11 dexterity, and 38 intelligence. I still think your best option is the MOONVEIL katana. What's also great about this weapon Not only is it one of the best choices, but you can actually get it pretty early on in the game. With all my videos, you guys, any item that we go over, whether it's a weapon or talisman, I'm going to put links in the description below that will show you exactly where you need to go to get these items if you want to obtain them. But if for whatever reason you are level 50 to level 70 and you still have not gotten your hands on the Moonveil Katana for whatever reason, it's actually pretty easy to get. So on the right side of the map here in Caelid, there is actually a dungeon called the Gale Tunnel. Once you defeat the final boss in this dungeon, you will receive the Moonveil Katana. A fully maxed out Moonveil Katana has 178 plus 130 physical attack power. We also have 213 plus 218 magic damage. Attribute scaling heavily favors dexterity and intelligence both at B. Keep in mind, in order to wield this weapon, you need at least 12 strength, 18 dexterity, and 23 intelligence. Now, in our left hand, we have a scepter, a glintstone staff to be exact. In order to cast spells in Elden Ring, you are going to need a glintstone staff. Now, mine currently is +9. It is actually the Carrion Regal Scepter. You get this scepter from killing Renala, which is one of the main bosses that gives you the ability to respec your attributes using larval tears. Now, it really doesn't matter what staff you use. A fully maxed out staff will have incredible intelligence scaling, and you have a lot of different options to go with. You don't have to use this one specifically. But in case you are curious, my attribute scaling here is S tier, which is the highest tier. Attributes required to use this scepter, keep in mind this is an endgame glintstone staff. You need at least 8 strength, 10 dexterity, and 60 intelligence. The apparel is actually personal preference. I wanted to make a magic samurai warrior, something like that. So this is what I came up with here. I have the iron casa for the head, the astrologer robe, which is actually pretty good. It gives us 90 focus and 76 vitality. Also the white reed samurai gauntlets and the white reed greaves. I think it looks pretty badass. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, but it's really just personal preference. All right, the talismans, extremely important. Now, the first talisman here, the Dragoncrest GREATSHIELD talisman, which enormously boosts physical damage negation. Trust me, you guys are going to want to have this on your build because we're not only going to be playing from range and casting spells, sometimes we have to take full advantage of the Moonveil Katana, and we want to make sure we have as much survivability as possible. This is going to increase our survivability and also make us more confident when we're in combat. For the second talisman here, we have the Green Turtle talisman, which works very well in a build like this because stamina is important. And unfortunately, when you use spells in Elden Ring, it does use stamina, which I don't like very much, but I guess it balances it out, right? The item effect here raises stamina recovery speed. Stamina recovery speed is going to be extremely beneficial for us because the quicker we can get our stamina back, the more we can spam Transient Moonlight and use our spells like the Comet, for example. The third talisman, which is an incredible talisman to have, is the Shard of Alexander, which greatly boosts the attack power of skills. So our primary attack on the Moonveil Katana, Transient Moonlight, is going to be greatly boosted in damage when we have this talisman equipped, the Shard of Alexander. Last but certainly not least, we have the Radagon Icon talisman, which shortens spell casting time. This is great to have for spells like the Comet, for example, which is one of the best spells to use. And actually, now that we're talking about spells, let's go ahead and check out what we have on this build. As a sorcerer in Elden Ring, I think your best option, your primary spell, should always be the Comet. What's great about this spell, not only does it do a lot of damage, but the longer you charge it, you will increase your damage and also increase the range of the spell. Now, the Comet spell does use quite a bit of focus, but it's okay. It does do a lot of damage, so it's kind of like a high risk, high reward situation, you know? The next spell we are using, another great spell in Elden Ring, is the Comet Azure. If timed correctly, you know, with the right positioning, as long as your target's not moving, you can do a lot of damage with this spell, and it's easily one of the best, especially on bosses. Now, defensive spells are also very good to have, especially the Carrion Phalanx. I think I'm saying that correctly. This one's really good, and I mean, if timed correctly, you can hit your target with this defensive spell, and then hit them really hard with Transient Moonlight on your Moonveil Katana. It's a really good combination. I like using it a lot on specific enemies, and it's really good. You know, you get that added attack, you also get more defense, and you can still dish out a lot of DPS with the Transient Moonlight. This spell right here, the next one here, the Terra Magica, I think I'm saying it correctly, is actually extremely underrated because, yes, it's not that big of a radius, but as long as you're standing in this circle here, you do extra damage with your spells. And this is going to help you a lot in higher level areas when you fight enemies that have a lot of HP. I think it's extremely underrated. I don't see it being used much, but you have a lot of memory slots and you have a lot of room for different types of spells. And today I'm going to be showing you guys the best spells to use because quite a few of them in this game are pretty underwhelming, to be honest. The last thing I want to show you guys is my Wondrous Physic. I think this is also very important. But I do also want to mention, I think the Cerulean Hidden Tier got nerfed with patch 1.04 because before, the item effect here, which eliminates all FP consumption, used to last 15 seconds, and now it only seems like it's lasting 7. So I'm not sure if this was nerfed. I might actually change this, but for right now, we will keep it. I think the most important thing is temporarily boosting stamina and stamina recovery speed, which is why I'm also using the Green Burst Crystal Tier. If I wanted to get rid of the Cerulean Hidden Tier, I could put this one in here, the Green Spell Crystal Tier, which temporarily boosts stamina in the Mixed Physic. I think I'll stick with this for now. That is the build, everybody. Seriously appreciate you clicking on the video and watching. If you enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, be sure to leave a thumbs up. I would appreciate it a lot. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to see more Elden Ring videos just like this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.